It's been fun, but now I've got to go. Life is way too short to take it slow. But before I go and hit the road, I gotta know. Till then, when can we do this again? Whoa, when can I see you again? Whoa, when can I see you again? Apparently right now. Welcome back to StillerBros at the movies, and we are going to be seeing one of our more highly anticipated movies of the year, Wreck-It Ralph 2, or just Ralph Breaks the Internet.
The first Wreck-It Ralph was a goddamn masterpiece, period.
We are so obsessed that we slept on it when it was in back when it was in theaters.
I don't know what was going through our minds, but we did not catch it when it was in theaters, and now we are pissed that we missed it.
But this one, we're not making that same mistake. We have been waiting for a Wreck-It Ralph sequel since we found out that it was even a possibility. So what is it about the first Wreck-It Ralph? Well, it's not even just the video game nostalgia, particularly because we're not that big of gamers.
I watched the movie yesterday with our sister. She cried. She doesn't cry at a lot of movies, but she cried at this one.
In fact, she mocks us for crying at movies.
And she got one reference, Bowser. That was it.
Yeah. But you don't need to be a gamer to like the original Wreck-It Ralph. The original Wreck-It Ralph is a really good Disney movie. It's quality. It's
probably the best of the current Renaissance. That's right. I said it. Fuck you, Frozen.
Anyway, the original Wreck-It Ralph is good. It holds up. How could it not hold up? It's only been 6 years, but still, all the video game references don't need to apply because it's still genuinely funny and heartfelt. It's a movie that makes me still cry almost every time I've seen it. Even if I'm not even watching the whole thing, if I'm like coming in the middle while it's on cable, I watch even just the end gets me every time. And now we have Ralph Breaks the Internet, the long-awaited sequel, where we have the returns of all of the majority of the cast from the original movie, including even small people like Roger Craig Smith as Sonic the Hedgehog returns.
But they have back again are John C. Reilly, Sarah Silverman, Jack McBrayer, Jane Lynch.
Ed O'Neill returns, even though his character wasn't that big of a thing in the first one, but still, it's great that he's back. Alan Tudyk is back as a completely different character because, spoiler alert, his character died in the first one.
And then we have a bunch of new characters coming in, like Taraji P. Henson as Yes,
and Gal Gadot as playing Giselle. It's Giselle.
It's Giselle from Fast and Furious.
It's basically Vin Diesel. It's basically Vin Diesel's character from Fast and the Furious with just without a Y chromosome.
And we also have the return of director Rich Moore, along with co-writer of the first film, Phil Johnston, who is a Minnesota boy.
Duckman got his Cleveland boy. We got our Hennepin County boy with this movie.
Yep, he's jumping on board to co-direct with Rich Moore, but he's credited as the full director, not co-director.
This is his directorial debut. Who, after writing such hits as the original Wreck-It Ralph and Zootopia.
Yes.
And there's the one scene that everybody's been talking about that has left this movie being highly anticipated, the princess scene.
Which, the second we heard about it, we were excited, and then we saw bits of it, and we got even more excited.
And the fact is, and the interesting thing is, there's an original song by Alan Menken in this movie, but it's not during that scene, so it's kind of an interesting choice. But hey, Penelope finally has a princess song after 6 years.
Yep, they're pretty much shoehorning her into the Disney princess mythos to the point that they have to make her a princess now.
But with the Disney princess lineup, we have all the living actors returning to their roles.
Well, living and working. Aurora's voice actor just retired 8 years ago.
Okay, so all the living and working voice actors of the original of the Disney princesses. So we got Ali Cavallo returning as Moana, which wasn't hard. They were probably just like, hey, do some pickups for this. Yes, while they were recording Moana.
While they were doing the last bits of work on Moana.
They got Kristen Bell and Idina Menzel, which also probably wasn't that hard to get because they're like, hey, while you're waiting for script pages from Frozen 2, let's just do a bit of this. They got Jodie Benson, Paige O'Hara. Yeah, who else do we got? Mandy Moore.
Anika Noni Rose.
Ming Na Wen.
They have all of them. And Jennifer Hale replacing Cinderella.
Reprising her role as Cinderella, which she has ever since they started putting out additional Cinderella material. And the screenwriter and one of the screenwriters of the movie just did scratch vocals for Snow White. They actually were just like, all right, put her in the movie.
So we got all that going on, but this movie has been hotly anticipated for 6 years. We're very excited to see where it goes. We're very excited to see it come to pass. Zootopia kind of put it on the back burner, but once that great movie was out of the way, they were able to finish Wreck-It Ralph 2.
And for right now, I guess we just have to say, hey, hopefully we'll come out of the same. That was pretty great, except for when Frozen 2 comes out in a couple of years and it kicks your ass. Next year?
Yeah, next year I think.
Okay.
But also no, Frozen 2's never gonna kick its ass.
Either way. Also, wouldn't it just be funny if this turned out to be a Tron sequel? Just like this, just in the middle of it, like Garrett Hedlund shows up and is like, holy shit, people from another video game. This is so great. I've been trapped here for so long. They won't let me leave.
It's a nice thought.
Probably won't come true.
Because Garrett Hedlund needs work.
Another Minnesota boy.
Yep.
Anyway, we are really close to the theater now, guys, so we're just gonna let you go. So we will see you guys after the jump. Bye. Yeah, that's how it's done, Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
Seriously. What can be said about this except for... I mean, it's really good. Really, really good.
Yeah.
So, let's get into it. John C. Reilly, Sarah Silverman, they're bringing it still as these characters.
And there's a lot of emotional moments between these characters because, hey, we got a lot of emotional moments last time and we got a lot of emotional moments this time.
The whole thing is just basically a huge outcast thing, like it was not the first one. Only it's Penelope's story. So we got a bit more of a focus on her.
Yeah.
Of course, because Ralph is the title character, he's still going to be in it, but this is Penelope's story.
We focus on Penelope and what she's going through in her life and what everything's going on with there.
So, and Sarah Silverman, and once again, Sarah Silverman kind of kills it as Penelope. Yeah. You know, in that voice that I'm still surprised she can make her voice go that high on.
Especially by the fact that she actually sings in this.
In that voice. So that's it's gonna be some kind of weird strain on her voice there.
Yeah.
And Gal Gadot, she got to be in a Disney movie. That's something. Her career has gone amazingly huge since they dropped her from Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. And same with Taraji P. Henson. She's in a Disney movie now.
Yes, a character who weirdly is in a different outfit every time we see her.
Which in an animated movie was probably a lot of work.
Because they need to remake models and stuff. And I'm sure there were a lot of people who wrongly thought that the Oh My Disney scene was going to be the entire movie and a crutch for them to essentially be like, look at all the wacky references, but no, it was a scene.
It probably takes about 10 minutes in the middle of the movie.
And that's about it. It's a scene for them to make some self-referential humor and sneak in some cameos from the likes of Anthony Daniels and Tim Allen and Brad Garrett. Brad Garrett and Anthony Daniels were all just probably sitting there, we're all probably just recording for these respective movies that they're working on, that they had to have been working on at the time, and they're just like, hey, record this.
Yeah.
It's quick.
Yeah, and we got a lot of them. And just like with the first Wreck-It Ralph, we got a lot of references all over the place that you're gonna have to watch this movie like 10, 15 times just to get half of them.
And even some references in the moments get better when you actually read the credits and you find out, wow, they really went deep into this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and by the way, mid-credit scene and post-credit scene, so stay through the credits.
Yeah.
It's good.
Although if you
gonna be fun.
Although if you read the credits, you kind of blow them, and the end credit scene kind of gets blown.
Yeah. So if you're gonna stay through the credits, then kind of just talk in your seat.
Maybe just check your phone. Maybe check your phone for like the next couple minutes, and so maybe check your phone after start checking your phone after the mid-credit scene.
Just so that you can you still get a bit of the surprise of the last bit.
Yeah.
And the theme song "Zero" by Imagine Dragons, I still like "When Can I See You Again" better. I mean, this one grew on me when it was played in the credits, but I still gotta go with the more bouncy, upbeat "When Can I See You Again" by Owl City, another Minnesota boy.
Damn right.
But I did love, like, Henry Jackman's score, particularly the fact that he incorporated all these scores. He incorporated scores from all the Disney princess movies, Star Wars, and so many others.
The Disney princesses, let's face it, they were probably the best part of the movie.
Oh yeah, this whole scene was great, and I loved seeing all of this together, and all these characters interacting, just hanging out, being friends, because they're the Disney princesses, and we grew up on them, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think one of my and honestly, when it comes to complaints, I think one of my big ones is there's there's something they start with Felix Jr. and Sergeant Calhoun at the beginning of the movie, where they kind of establish that there's some sort of B plot that they're going to be doing with it, and then the movie just kind of drops it, and they don't do anything with it, like, at all
until the very end, anyway.
Yeah, there's a payoff, but I kind of feel like we could have cut away from Ralph and Vanellope even for a little bit, just to kind of get a couple little cutaway joke scenes with that.
I feel the same way, except I think that what we got ultimately was probably the best iteration of the entire movie. Because we got what we needed out of that. We really got what we needed out of the setup for that joke, and the payoff was actually very good.
It almost makes you forget that theater, but boy, was that theater dusty a few minutes earlier.
Yeah, totally. It was really dusty. Really just got all that dust just like got in our eyes.
Yeah.
We cried. Fucking cried.
And what else can there be said? The animation was fantastic. I'm pretty sure this movie melted some computers.
Yeah.
With just how big the big third act is, and the visualization of the internet is very creative. The Twitter birds we've obviously seen in the trailers, but then there's things like Pinterest as a bulletin board, eBay as an auction house, obviously. But then the
pop-up ads are people just shoving stuff in your face.
Like nobody's already had that wherever they get in certain places they go. All the sorts of things, all sorts of little things like that. It's creative. It's great. It's fun.
We got Slaughter Race's kind of Grand Theft Auto, Just Cause, Resident Evil,
Twisted Metal, all that stuff mixed into one. Whereas Sugar Rush was Mario Kart, this is just
all these open world, crime spree, grungy gaming experiences where you're doing nothing but stealing cars and
wrecking and beating people up and wrecking stuff. Yeah, it's basically Grand Theft Auto Online this movie, it's fun, it's creative. This movie knows what it wants to be, and it's not the emoji movie because it's not advertised, because the advertising is less subtle it's way more subtle than your average Transformers movie. It hides stuff.
Product placement is there, but you don't care, because these are actual websites like eBay Like we get, like, and they kind of lampoon the websites. Like we like retweet it. Like we get retweets. We get YouTube. We get it's eBay. We get Google.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. It's funny. The jokes are so funny. Honey, it's great.
But there's also a cameo by the guy.
Yeah, it's he doesn't talk, but it's just great to have some acknowledgement that Stan Lee is still in there.
It's an great acknowledgement that he's still around, that he's always going to be around.
Granted, that wasn't what they intended when they made it. They were just like, we got a bunch of Marvel characters, let's throw them in there. But
it came at, but he comes and it's just it's a kind of heartbreaking, but at the same time, like always, Stan never fails to put a smile on your face.
So guys, we are almost home. I think the best we can say is Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, or just Ralph Breaks the Internet, it's a great movie. It's Disney's Renaissance continuing. I don't know why there are people who are just like, it's bad, it's just the emoji movie with Disney characters, because it's more than that. This is a story. It has great emotional payoffs, unlike the Emoji Movie where it was just a jammed together cash grab that just was awful from beginning to end. It just had awful intentions from beginning to end. And I really hope that the people who say that Wreck-It Ralph was bad actually know that they are that they're pushing against the crowd on this one, because I think people are gonna like this, and I think it's genuinely a good movie. And I don't know if we should continue the streak, but I think it's gonna get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
And maybe the win.
We'll see how it goes.
Last time I did that, it won. Well, last time I did that, it happened. So.
Yeah. All right. So.
But that's it. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought of Ralph Breaks the Internet. And don't forget to tune in next time when.
Well, we're gonna enter the Spider-Verse.
Yes, we are. Bye.